All right, today I'll be sharing on the tendencies of marrying one from another faith. Tendencies of marrying one from another faith. All right, so I'm going to be sharing this thing in various ways, in different ways. So you have to pay attention to be able to catch or grasp exactly what I'm sharing about today. So when I'm talking about another faith, I am talking about you marrying someone, assuming someone from House on the Rock, marrying someone who is a Muslim, marrying someone who is from Ikanka. You know Ikanka? Marry someone who is from Hare Krishna. Marry someone who is from Baha'i faith. Marry someone who is a Hindu. Marry someone who is, what? Okay, Amok. Olumba Obu. Grey message. I wonder what is grey about the message. Okay, but when you marry people from this faith, the things you're going to go through is exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you. But having said the extreme part, because what I've just told you is the extreme part. Now, let me also step it down a little bit. Now, another faith is also Christ's Embassy and House on the Rock getting married, and House on the Rock and Deeper Life getting married, and House on the Rock and Choosing Mopo getting married, and House on the Rock and Mountain on Fire getting married. These are also a kind of different faith, but if you bring it down a little bit, what it is marrying someone from a different doctrine, with different doctrine. Okay, we are of the same Christian faith, but we have different doctrine. Because in House on the Rock, we believe to look the way we look. Okay, somebody who is from House on the Rock and somebody who is from Christ's Embassy will flow better. Somebody who is from Christ's Embassy and somebody who is from Koza will flow better. Somebody who is from Dominion City will flow better. But it will be very difficult for somebody who is from House on the Rock or Christ's Embassy to go marry somebody from Deeper Life or from Choosing or from Mountain on Fire. You will or may not flow better. Because by the way you dress alone, it's a put off. But we all decently dress, isn't it? But this is not the kind of decency they want. So if you're going to marry somebody from Deeper Life, especially when you're a lady, because for us as guys, our dressing is universal. But if you're a lady, you're marrying a man from Deeper Life, you have issues. You have to change your wardrobe completely. From A to Z, you must look for Mary Amaka. You know the clothes called Mary Amaka? Turtleneck gown. And then it reaches here. And then it must be bogus. You usually have rope in the middle. And that middle rope, you don't tie it well. You tie it a little, because if you tie it tight, it will show your shape. So you tie it to be a little bit loose. And then you'll be walking, and when you're walking, you don't walk close to your husband side by side. You walk behind your husband. And you don't call baby and honey that you people are doing here. You call brother. Brother Mike. And the man is going in front. Sister Rose is going behind. Sister Rose becoming, Brother Mike, I'm following you. And all that. So it will be very difficult to adapt. No matter how handsome the man looks, no matter how rich the man is, no matter how caring the man is, you have to consider. Otherwise, you are the one that's going to suffer it. You will come in there and look very odd. And believe me, he was not going to change his church for you. So I'm practically going to paint a picture, and after painting the picture, I get into the message for tonight. So I need I need a man that is a man. And then I need 7 people with the man. So I need 8 men. 8 men from the choir. Give me 8 men from the choir and 1 woman. Be coming now. Don't waste my time. This is, what's your name? This is Mr. Tega, who is single, and Mr. Sega is single. Of course, looking at Mr. Tega is the desire of an average woman. Every woman would desire to marry Mr. Tega because Mr. Tega is the tall, he's the dark, and he's the handsome. And in the course of life, Mr. Tega came across this beautiful damsel, and the two of them and now wants to get married to themselves. Mr. Tega started dating Miss Tokwe. All right, so Mr. Tega and Miss Tokwe is beginning to date at this moment. And in their dates or in the course of their relationship, one of the things that happens is that for every time Tokwe looks at Tega, Tokwe sees tall, dark, and handsome. As a matter of fact, the very moment Tokwe met Tega, they met in an eatery, they met in an environment that is rosy, and even before Tega came to Tokwe, Tokwe already was admiring this tall, handsome guy in the environment, and suddenly the tall, handsome guy walked up to her, and they struck discussion, and then they started talking, and then Tokwe says, I want to marry you. And then the first thing that she sees is tall, dark, and handsome. And let me tell you, whenever you encounter a man or encounter a woman in a relationship, one of the things they do is that they show you their best. So the next time, Tokwe and Tega were now going out on a date, and the date he came to pick her on a date, he came with a Mercedes. This is a Mercedes. And then suddenly, Tokwe looked at the Mercedes and said, wow, this guy has got a Mercedes. And then this guy is rich. So the Mercedes represents the financial status of Mr. Tega. And all of a sudden, by the time they went to a very cozy restaurant, they went to Hilton, in their neighborhood, they went to Hilton. They didn't go to fast food. You know, going for fast food and going to Hilton to take a dinner is different. So they went into Hilton to have a dinner, and then assuring and proving more that Tega is rich. And look at the kind of class of places that Tega eats, and then the kind of food, the quality of food they ordered. As a matter of fact, after that day, they spent like 120,000 over just a few things on the table. And Tega swiped card, and that was it. Okay, now she has seen the car, she has seen the money, and then again, there is another thing about her. The very moment both of them went out, he also took me home to his house. You have to know my house. And they got to the house of the young man, and the house of the young man was looking very fabulous, fantastic. As a matter of fact, when they got into the environment, immediately with a sensor, the whole light came on, and they walked into the sitting room, and Tega was busy doing hand like this, and light will come on, do hand like this, the other light will come on, and then he do hand like this, and then the television immediately emerges, rolls out from the wall. And then while these things are happening, that is exactly what she has been observing and saying, "Ty, this guy rich, oh, this guy rich." But let me tell you, the reason is this: when this guy met this girl, this guy is a total package. But like I said, the good things are always in the surface of the package. So when you open and see the Mercedes, you have opened to see the car, you have opened to see the money, you have opened to see the tall, dark, and handsome. I want you to know that it's not all that is in the bag. There is more in the bag than you have seen. But most times we don't see those things, because when see the Mercedes and see the house and see the money, it blinds us from every other thing. But what we don't know is that there is more in the bag called the man than you have unraveled. Now suddenly they have now gotten married. Immediately they got married. In the marriage, now the lady has observed that Tega snores like a spoiled generator. Again, she observed again that Hagar is a Muslim. Remember when they were dating, he said, I'm not really a religious kind of guy, I can do Christian, I can do Muslim, but it's okay. And then immediately the weight of Islamism came on her here. Immediately she saw that this guy is a core Muslim because everything in the house represents his religion. And then she also opened the bag again and noticed that the guy has a temper problem as a result of the way he was raised up. And then she has encountered temper problem. Again, she opened the bag again in the course of the marriage and observed that the guy, if he doesn't win an argument, there is no argument. What am I saying? When a man comes close to you, here, face yourselves. When a man comes close to you here, face him. What the talker is seeing is this man. But there is more to the man than his eyes can see. So one of the things you must do in relationship is to look beyond this man, push him away in inquiry, and know about this, know about this, know about this, know about this, and know about this. Because most times we are deceived by the first appearance of the man, thinking that the man doesn't have history. Every man has got a history. Every man has got a history. There are things that accompanies the man. Just like the bishop was saying on Sunday, when you stand with the lady and the pastor is trying to lead two of you into a vow and ask two of you, will you hold in sickness and in success, in health and in sickness and ups and in downs? People say no, in sickness, no, in success and in success. In good health and in good health, in wealth and in wealth. Let me tell you, no matter how much you confess positive in this place, it doesn't change this package that this man came with. It doesn't change this package. The very moment you encounter this guy that is very rich, a time will also come when something will happen to his container. And unfortunately, it's after marriage immediately. Something happens to his container. That is his business. And suddenly the business goes down. So when you are saying yes to him, you are saying yes to the chains of things that are behind him. In the program of life, let me tell you, to confess in health and in health is not bad. But sometimes it's self-deceit. Why? The reason is because the Bible says that it's time for everything under the sun. Time to be born, time to die. That is the Bible you're confessing. A time to smile, a time to be angry, time to hug, and time to say, excuse me, time to eat, and time to go hungry. All these things are in compilation of an average person. There is always an ups and down of this man. It might not be financial ups and downs. It might be business ups and down. It might be disappointment up and down. It might be the habits that he has been struggling with, which you will only notice when you come into the marriage. It might be that he's not very good in the other room, which you will also notice when you come into the marriage. It might also be that he has a temper problem, that before he says Jack, his hand has left him. So it becomes an abomination on your side to see a man in front of you trying to propose to you without making inquiry about the man. But like I said, when the man sees the woman, you bring out your best. When the woman sees the man, she brings out her best. Hi, how are you? The girl is soft-spoken. The first 6 months of the relationship, first 1 year of the relationship. Yes, sir. My love, my baby, get her into the house. And immediately, no, excuse me. No. Please, Please, talk to the hands. And you're wondering, is he still the same Tokbe that was almost kneeling down to give me water, to give me food? Yes, it's the same Tokbe. But the thing is that in the package, she presented the first thing first. When you want to catch a fish, you sacrifice earthworm. Empty hook can't catch a fish. Lady, you know why you went to Hilton? Because he knows that Hilton is the card that will bring you down. So when he threw the Hilton card, in fact, you walking into the Hilton lounge, you are even looking like a house help. With all the bling, 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 bling you're wearing. And he said, no, baby, come in. And he had to, pull the chair for you to sit down. And you're sitting down, grappling with inferiority complex. And then they bring out the menu card for you. And you don't even know what to, have you been there before? You don't really know what to order. And you turn to the person that brought you and say, anything. Meanwhile, you have to take a little while to go through the menu card and you look at it. To pronounce the name is becoming a problem. To know exactly what it looks is becoming a problem. So it takes a sincere lady to say, babes, sincerely, I don't even know what is in this card. But most times, 90% of the ladies will say, babe, please, make a choice for me. Make a choice for me. And then you make if you are wise, my dear, make a choice of what that girl knows how to eat. Make a choice. Just look for rice somewhere. Look for rice somewhere. Leave all those fried water and pancake mix with a yolk. Leave them. Make a choice of rice. If you want to kill her more, just make Chinese rice. It's easier. And all of that. Otherwise, she doesn't know anything in the menu card. She doesn't know. But that's not the message. The message is that these are the things you see in a man. Tall, dark, and handsome, broad-chested. The guy walks like a robot. Anytime he appears before you, he uses his left hand to help you out. He picks up your left hand and then puts it in between his hand and chest. And then you are just like this, following and twisting your waist. My dear, that is what you are seeing for the first time. Behind the guy who is doing that, he's a complete package. You just saw part of the package. Part of the package. So whether you like it or not, in marriage, we will never remove for better for worse. Since we started removing for better for worse, did it change anything in marriage? For better? No. For better, for better. For better, for better. For better, for... I know you are confessing for better, but let me tell you, you will jam it. Why? We are human. Every man has got his weakness. Every woman has got her weakness. She talks to you softly, but remember that women are naturally nice. 70-80% of women would naturally nag. They're saying nothing. They will bring up what does not exist and bring it up. So if you're a man, hear what the woman is not saying. Forget what she's saying. Baby, see that fish in that restaurant? The way you were just eating the fish in that restaurant, I didn't even like it, and you gave me the head of the fish. That's not what she wants to say. Just wait, she's going to land. They say, oh, I'm sorry. Was it the head I gave you? Oh, I'm sorry about it. Can I order the fish again? No, you want to order the fish. So you want that girl to come now so you can order the fish through the girl. So the girl, she has now started saying what she wants to say. But most times, they don't throw that thing open. It's a complete package. So what do I say? What I'm saying here is, when these two people encounter themselves, the best thing to do sometimes is to inquire what is in the package. You may not be able to open the package yourself, because sometimes it's really hard. But on the place of inquiry, on the place of wisdom, you will begin to open this package. And the guy will suddenly tell you, actually, when I was growing up, something happened in my primary school. A guy did that and did the other to me. And the way I fled up, I stabbed the guy. And when I stabbed the guy, do you believe that even up to today, the guy, one hand was amputated? He said, God forbid. I used to be a very, very, very hot-tempered person. My dear, mark it. There is nothing I used to be. It's there. One of the things you have to now do is to look at the things that trigger. What actually happens? What makes you come to that level? And he will smile and chip in some things to you, you will know. And then you will move. This religion thing, you are an Ekankar person, you are an Ogboni person, you are an Amok person, you are this person, and you know I'm a Christian. So how do we handle it? And he tells you, don't worry, you will be going to church, and then I will be going to the mosque. My dear, be very careful. Be very careful, because in an African marriage, you're not marrying the man, you're marrying the man and the family. Because a time will come in that marriage when people will ask him, so where is your wife? Which part of the mosque is she in? They said, no, she's in church. You know, she's a winner. They say, you're a very stupid man. By the time they speak to him for 3 years, he will sit you down and tell you, babe, the equation has to be changed. And then that's when all these things that are behind him will come out. It is self-deceit to think that this man is here and only here. Any man you see doesn't end here. Every man you see has some things that is struggling with. He has his religion and belief system. There are men that have been in church for many years, but if you want to know what they believe in, let something come in between you and them. They will tell you that they are going to the village to swear by Amadioha. And you're wondering, but you are an usher in church. Yes, he's an usher in church. But in his heart, he lives behind the Amadioha shrine. He is a chief priest. And it's in this package. And you don't know about it. Again, you move into the next package. He spends like a mad person. When he was spending like a mad person while you guys were dating, you said it's okay, he cares. But when you get into the marriage and still see him spend like a mad person, he says he's extravagant. Because the direction of expenses has changed. It's all part of the package. And then at night, it's either he's facing up, you're facing down. Not because you don't want you guys to face the same direction, but because the engine, the sound of the engine is too much. And you face down. Just because you can't leave the room, you face down. It's also part of the package. And suddenly now you have gotten him angry. Please, babe, don't tell me that thing. Don't tell me that thing. He said, excuse me, who are you talking to? Come here. Come here. And you behave like a woman. Says, you want to beat me? Beat me. Beat me. And the next you heard is, boy. Now you just pick race. You. Enter one side. And start calling your father, mother, everything, the military. And you start calling everybody. I don't know, I married a monster. No. You didn't inquire well. It's all in the package. Tell your neighbor it's all in the package. Most times when packages are given to you, you open it from your area of interest. So when you see a man, you open the man from your area of interest. What am I saying? You check whether he's a giver. Area of interest. You check how much he calls. You check how much he text messages come from morning and night, evening and morning, day and day. How much he asks you whether you have eaten or not. Area of interest. You're opening the package in the area of interest. But what you don't know is your area of interest does not sustain marriage. It doesn't sustain marriage. What sustained it is beyond your area of interest. Guys, God bless you. Thank you. I needed to paint that picture so you will understand what marriage is all about. So you understand what personality is all about. So you see that girl you're eyeing, you see that guy you're eyeing. When you look at her now and him from the eye of the Spirit, my dear, if he's not in church, you see him next time, look above his shoulder. He won't know what you're looking at. You're looking at his chain, his lineups. But those ones you will not know or see it physically. You will see it by inquiry. Let me tell you, there are things we have done in the Pentecostal and in the current Christianity that is not favoring us. It's not favoring us. We have to say these things, irrespective of who likes it or who doesn't like it. The people of old, our parents got married by set principles. Set principles. They can't marry a person without inquiry. Abraham married based on inquiry. The people of the Bible married based on inquiry. Whose son is he? Whose daughter is she? Where are they coming from? Do they believe what we believe? Is it not Ruth on Naomi that says to the mother-in-law, your people will be my people? It didn't end there. He said, your God will be my God. So when you are accepting a man, you are accepting his God. So don't neglect faith. Don't neglect a man's belief system. Don't neglect a man's religious beliefs when you want to marry the man. Because these are the things that forms his personality. Don't. Don't because the man speaks softly. Don't because the girl worships you. He says he's a nice person. I am not doubting her niceness, but I'm only saying that there's more in the package. Our fathers made inquiries and divorce was very low. We decided to follow the white people who don't make inquiry. If I love you, I'll marry you. I don't care. I'm not marrying your people. It's just about you and I. We'll just be there together. How is their marriage? Does it last? How are you copying notes from a failure? How? How are you copying notes from a person who failed? Their marriages are failing daily, and you are copying the way they marry. It is about selfless. So far you love me, I love you, it's okay. That's enough for me. It's enough for me. It's enough. Don't worry. You will soon know whether it's enough. My dear, it's not enough. This is Africa. This is Africa. What makes a white is not in what they say. It's in who they are. What makes a black is not association with the white. Because we see people who are married, black people who are married abroad. But when it comes to the issue of separation and divorce, they call home to determine it. White people will not. Because their culture is different. Our culture is different. So it is good also to peep into the culture of a man, to peep into the faith of a man before you follow the man. If you don't peep into those things, these are the things that will cause stumbling block in the marriage. So that's what I'm teaching about today. Don't marry anybody in a different faith, no matter the promises. We see this happen a lot in the West. In Yoruba land. That's where you see a father Muslim. You see a mother Christian. The first daughter Sele. The first son winners. The third one Guru Maharaji. So you see spirits roaming around in the family. Roaming in the family. And you know the funny thing in the West, in the Yoruba land, they also mix all these things together. Apologies to the Yoruba people because they are not all the same. But they mix them. These things are mixed together in that family. The one who goes to, who is a Muslim will come and say what Imam said. The family will adhere to it. The one who is in Salah will come and say what the Prophet said and they will adhere to it. The one who is in Winners will come and declare what Papa said and they will adhere to it. So all things are working for my good. Hey, it's intentional. But this one will fail you. The Lord God is a jealous God. It will fail you. So that's the way it is. So they do it there. And for some of them, it works for them. But be careful, because when chips are down, it might not work. So interfaith marriage is one thing that people do from time to time. It could be from Christian to Muslim. It could also be from Christian to Hindu, from Hindu to Baha'i, from Baha'i to Shintoism, from Shintoism to Mormonism, and all manner. Okay, so the more problem we have with other faith, the major problem we have with other faith is nothing but perception. Perception. It's nothing but what? Perception. When we talk about faith, we talk about perception. Pastor Cosfini, be teaching regular things now so that people won't hate you. I'm sorry. Have you ever been in a class, primary or secondary school, university, where you have a particular girl or guy in your class, on your room, that wears a thick lens, double lens glasses? And suddenly one day you said, Chioma, let me have your glasses and see how it looks. And then you carry the glasses of Chioma and put in your eyes. And suddenly, you are standing, but what moved you didn't know. Because everything now shakes. Faith is like spectacle. And everybody is wearing his own. Anytime you remove yours and put another man's own, you will see differently. Faith is like spectacle. And let me tell you, I have a friend who sent me frames, glasses from the US. He just sent me glasses. I love the glasses he wore. And he sent me 3 from the US. It's coming very soon. And then he asked me, he said to me, do you wear what? He said, I wear 1.5. Coincidentally, I also wear 1.5. In other words, what he wears is a reading glass and it's at 1.5. What I wear is reading glass is at 1.5. Now, we can use 1.5, 1.5. I can wear his glasses and I will read normally. He can wear mine and read normally. But if 1.5 increases to 1.8 or increases to 2.0, I may not be able to comfortably use it because I'm wearing a different thing. Let me tell you, I am using this to paint a picture. If you're from a different faith or a different system of belief, that you are in house on the rock and suddenly you went to marry one guy from deeper life, let me tell you, what you have done is that you have changed a little bit of frame. 1.5 moves to 2.0. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make any difference because 1.5 and 2.0 is very close, but you will just notice that from time to time, after using his spectacle to read, you have a little bit of headache. But when you were reading, it was comfortable for you. But after you finish reading, a little bit of headache. So you will keep having a little bit of headache until the end of that marriage. That's where it is. So faith is perception. All the faith believe there is God. One God, isn't it? But the spectacle they use in seeing their God varies. So check the lens of your partner and see whether not the same lens. If you know be the same lens, tell him, bros, you care, you love like Lavina, but permit me to bow out. Perception. So, you can change a lot about people, but one of the things you may not be able to change is the way a person sees. You may not be able to change. There are things that happen. I use my children to paint quite a number of pictures. Okay? So when we're in morning devotion, most times in the morning, and we'll read the Bible or read a story because we have a particular Bible storybook, devotional book I bought from the UK the last time. Somebody told me about it and I ordered it. It came. So it has a story. It will have a Bible verse and they have a story in it. So every time we finish reading that story, and then one of the things I do is to ask my children, one after the other, what do you understand about the story? I will start seeing perception. I will start seeing spectacles. And then Zida will explain. Zenith will explain. My caregiver will explain. Every time, I tend to look forward to the explanation of Zara. The way Zara will explain this thing. Of course, I won't show, but in my mind, this girl is crazy. She has high maturity when it comes to explaining things. The way she understands life is more adult than children. So I look forward to it. No matter how confusing that verse is, she will just quietly navigate through it. But let me also tell you, there is an area that when you bring her into, you will see her stuttering, because you have moved her spectacle. Are you getting me? Every man will always struggle in his or her area of struggle. When spectacles change, people struggle. Have you ever seen those people that wear glasses and suddenly it was an exam day and he forgot his glasses at home? Have you taken an exam with an albino? Apologies to them, not in mockery. That's how they see it. And then they will start writing. When he wants to read the question again, he brings it to, and you're wondering, if you bring it, you can't say anything. But that's why they bring it. And then when they are bringing it, their hand is shaking the paper, but they are reading it. And sometimes their head is shaking and they are reading it. Spectacle. Say spectacle. So that's perception. You cannot change a man's perception. It will take what it took him to build the perception is what it will take you to change the perception. No, I know. He's a Muslim, but I know my God. I know in whom I believe. Let me come in first. Pastor, you know me now. When I pray, Sheba Balibada. Sheba Balibada. My dear, even your Ibado and Abakeleki, it will not work for you. Because you're jumping into the mouth of a lion and testing if the lion will bite you. Don't worry. You will soon get to Oshobo. Because whenever it comes to marriage, the faith of women climaxes. Boom, goes up. You can't marry this man. He said, no, Pastor, I don't believe you. I know the Lord that I serve. Pastor, you're not the one that is teaching us faith. What do you do as a pastor? My dear, Zomuje, Tofimana. You allow the person to go. But 2 years into the marriage, how is your husband? Pastor, he's there. Oh. So why are you talking like this? I hope all is well. Pastor, let's not talk about it now. So how come? Where did Ibado go? Where did Abakaliki go? Say bada. Say bada. When they are talking sense, you are talking nonsense. Chidima, listen to me. You are the latest bride in this church. You see the young man you want to marry. There will be good, there will be bad, there will be ugly. When you say yes on Sunday, open up your heart to receive the strength of the guy and receive the weakness of the guy. Because these are the things you're marrying. You're not marrying his strength. You're marrying both his strength, you're marrying his weakness. You're marrying his wealth, you're marrying his poverty. Yesterday, I was going through my document and suddenly I saw my wedding card. I kept it consciously. When I looked at my wedding card, I saw, of course, my wedding card was, in those days, it was Tuesday. It was one of the best in those days. I had my picture and my wife's picture on it, tied together. we were looking like refugees. And my wife looked, my mom looked at it. If you're an Igbo person, you will understand. After my mom looked at it, she said, "Oh, wow. Oh, wow." What that means is that the change that has happened between 2008 and now is unprecedented. So the only way to summarize it is to say, "Oh, wow." Because there's an adage in Igbo that mother hen told the children to relax. Now, when it rain finish, you go dry. So we started off life like refugees. And in those days, I didn't know I was like that. You need to see my posing. And you need to see my wife's posing. We were posing. But look at where God has brought us to now. Look at where God has brought us to. Now, when she was saying yes to a refugee that will one day own a refugee camp. I haven't said that. But for some of us, we are still there. Apologies to the refugees. Praise God. But that's exactly how life is. So when she was saying yes, she didn't see today. Today was in the mind of faith. She didn't see today. As a matter of fact, I also saw today in the eyes of faith. It could also not be today. Maybe the struggle would have also continued up until today. Because my programming and your husband's programming is not the same. God says that every year I will increase. And said that your husband will stay in one place for 10 years. And on the 11th year, he will increase. So when you said yes, you say yes to be patient for 11 years before the increment comes. So these are the things you must understand about marriage. So if you like, come to the pulpit and say for better, for health, for this, for that. These are the things. Let me tell you, one of the deceit that has come into the church is that we have emulated these Western people. Let me tell you, an average white man's pain threshold is very little. The threshold of pain for the white people is very low. That's why majority of them are on drug. Some of us will have headache for 2 days. We have not taken drug. But you have been complaining in the house. I'm having headache. You go to work and come back. I'm having headache. Somebody will tell you, take paracetamol now. He say, just leave it. I'm having headache. Sometimes the headache does what? Disappears. Sometimes finally you now take the drug and the thing disappears and you're wondering, why didn't I take it 2 days back? But our threshold of pain is very high. But Oyibo threshold of pain is low. So any small thing, that's why suicide rate is very high there. Because it can't be a pain. You break my heart, I can't take it anymore. So, break a black woman's heart. Break my heart. Woo. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Woo. And you'll be working. You will even take yourself out to go and eat. Then I came out of that useless guy. When you're talking to your girlfriends, you're telling them, do you know Emeka? He said, is Emeka your boyfriend now? Which boyfriend? Do you know what that mumu came to tell me? That he's breaking with me. Emeka didn't even know that I was managing him all this while. Why? Our threshold of pain is high. And these are gifts God has given us. And we're trying to imitate people that the devil has bought over. And told them that the pain shouldn't be included in life. That's what the devil has sold to them. That there's nothing like pain. When the Bible says, I think in Romans chapter 8 verse 28, that all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to purpose. Jeremiah says, I know the plans I have for you. They are plans of good and not of evil, to give you an expected future. So it doesn't matter what you're going through at this point. I know the plan I have for you. You may have been rejected. I know the plan I have for you. You may have been thrown away. I know the plan I have for you. May have been sacked from job. I know the plan I have for you. 10 heartbreaks. I know the plans I have for you. And you are still following and struggling through. From time to time, he will just send you Joseph out of Arimathea to come and help you carry the cross. And you think he will help you all through. And they will still collect it from him and give it back to you again. You carry it again. You fall. They will allow you to rest. You continue again until you get to the cross. But after the cross comes the crown. The crown comes. Reason is because all things work together for good. So increase your threshold for pain. Let's understand that marriage is not bed of roses. Even if they are, roses have thorns. There are things to enjoy in marriage and there are things to endure in marriage. Just like I'm not ready to take rubbish. So why are you getting married yet? You will take rubbish. In fact, you will become the rubbish. You will take it. Tell your neighbor you will take it. You take it. I say, no, don't tell me that. I will not take it. Then you say you won't take it doesn't mean you won't come. It won't come. Let me even ask you. Did all of us come with vehicle? Eh? So why did you take it? You would have said at home, I won't take it until I have a car. I won't take it. I won't leave my house. My dear, you will die there. There are things you have to take, but in taking it is temporal. In fact, your ability to take it is the extended faith to God that you know that this can continue. But when you say you can't take it, you are bouncing out of the will of God. You're telling God, why should you bring this my way in the first place? But do you know that God took it first for you? He wore your sin like a cloth, and his father blinded his eyes over him, and darkness came upon the earth because of the way the sun was looking on the cross of Calvary. And he took it. And you're telling me I can't take it. My dear, in marriage, you will take it. You will take it. No man will treat you like the other man. It's worse for people that have dated people that have catalog of men. It's worse. So when they're telling you to fix your eyes and be single, let your eyes be single so that your body will be full of light, you say, no, I love variety. I love variety. Now you are married. Variety na voice has marriage. Variety is scattering the marriage. Because your husband makes a move. You say, Emeka can make this move. He makes another move. He said, Obinna would have made it this way. He does this thing. Shola wouldn't have done this. Because your taste bud has been corrupted. You don't even know which is which. This Bible is trying to put you together. No. Allow me to enjoy myself. You will enjoy it. So it's very difficult to marry from a different faith. It's easier for House on the Rock to marry House on the Rock. One of the benefits is that when there is an issue, you have a common ground and doctrine to judge. You can come to Pastor Koswini and I would ask both of you, didn't you hear when I said so to Madam? So why did you do that? Oga, why did you do this? Didn't you hear when? Because you have one faith. So if you marry a Muslim and you're a Christian, who judges you? Who settles matter for you? You come to me, I will settle it based on biblical principles. You go to Muslim, they will tell you, are you not happy that this man is marrying only you? You are a greedy girl. Now, tendencies of marrying from a different faith. When I'm saying that, I'm also saying it generally. Number one tendencies is that you're most likely going to follow him at the end of the day. If you are the girl, you're most likely going to follow him. I'm a Pentecostal girl, but I have a guy who is coming to ask for my hand in marriage, but he's a Catholic. And Pastor, I don't like those praying of rosary, counting beats and all that. I don't like it. If you don't like it, you don't like the guy. But once you say yes, better go and buy the beat that is from head to toe. You will pray it too. Is it Hail Mary? You go Hail Mary, die. Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with you, and blessed art thou among women. Blessed is thy fruit of the womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and until the hour of our death. You go pray him. If you don't want to pray, don't marry him. So you can't bring that nonsense to my table. Pastor, when I was marrying him, he said I can be going to House on the Rock and he'll be going to Catholic. My dear, you see that agreement? That agreement is dependent until his patience elapses. When his patience elapses, that agreement changes. And when it changes, Pastor Kosfidi will stand with him. Sister Grace, follow him. Pastor, you follow him. When you said yes, you didn't say yes to the man alone. You said yes to his faith. Hey, Pastor, this guy is asking for my hand in marriage, but he's from Sele. And Pastor, how can I now? How can I? If you know how can I now, don't marry him. But if you dare marry him, better go and choose your white gown. And go without your, you see all these your nails that are, after making it, you're walking like a peacock. My dear, just cut it off and move on the streets of Asaba. And get ready to dance it well. You will dance it well. Because you didn't marry just the man, you married his faith. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Can any man build a house without first of all sitting down and counting the cost? That's the cost. So you're likely to follow him. The next thing is that there's going to be confusion among your children. Assuming the man even allows you to maintain your faith. Be a Christian while I continue with my Orumba. Be a Christian while I continue with my Islam. There's going to be confusion amongst the children. So from time to time, they will have to ask you, Mommy, who is Muhammad? He said, go and ask your daddy. Daddy, who is Jesus Christ? Go and ask your mommy. So the explanation will be confusing the guy. In school, the guy wouldn't know which one to join. Whether Christian religion education or Muslim religion education. So you are creating confusion, religious confusion in the mind of your children. They will neither be here or there. You will just give birth to Reubens. And Reubens are very unstable. They can't receive anything from life. They will start prayer within the name of the Lord the Father, and they will end it with Inshallah. And you're wondering, where is this coming from? It's coming from you marrying somebody from a different faith. And the name of love. No, the guy treats me well. I know a particular young girl who got married to a Muslim. Why? Because the first date, Christian, disappointed. Second date, Christian, disappointed. And then she became angry. And one Muslim guy that works in an oil company in Port Harcourt just showed up with a brand new Prado, caring for the lady. And suddenly, the lady was now suggesting to the pastor, but pastor, these Muslims are not the way we see them more. They are nice, oh. They are nice, oh. The guy agreed that I should be going to church and he will be doing his moleskin. My dear, if you see that girl on hijab now, if you see him, you won't know she entered church in one day of her life. She wraps around more than a born Muslim because she must. The next thing is that you're likely to be unhappy in that marriage, except you're not a serious Christian. If you're a serious Christian, you will not be happy in that marriage. Let's even assume it's not a Muslim, that is a person from deeper life that you went to marry. You House on the Rock, where we'll come here, we'll sing, we'll dance, irrespective of and suddenly you have entered deeper life, where there is only organ, not keyboard, organ. The only time you hear sound of instrument is when you are singing hymn. And then after him, you now clap. Akage. To Today is the day, amen. Today of the Lord, amen. How long will you continue? You will enjoy it as a variety for the first 6 months. After the first 6 months, you tell, babe, I don't like what, because in your head, what is playing in your head while you are in their church is, we lift our hands in the sanctuary. We lift our hands to give you the glory, child. We lift our hands to give you the praise, and we will praise you for the rest of my day. That's what is ringing in the head, but hand is just coming from north to south and hitting together, and it's beginning to pain you because you haven't practiced that in a while. And the husband says, I'm sorry. Who is the head of this home? It's you, baby. Who should follow who? It's me that will follow you. So let's stay here. Your husband will be answering you like Christ. Are you the king of the world? You said so. That's the way two of you will be. You will be unhappy. Anytime you remember, Saturday night will be your worst night. Because you know the next morning, you will wrap yourself around and be walking like a goat to the slaughter. And the worst part of it is anytime they call you sister something. Sister Grace. So be careful. The next thing is that the chances of peacemaking and that marriage is already thwarted, because peacemaking, to have a peaceful resolution in a marriage, you have to have a centralized place of peace. If you are both Muslims, you have your imam to settle you. If you are both Christians and in the same church, you will have your pastor to settle you. So chances of peace in the midst of trouble in the marriage is already thwarted, because you can't believe that the imam will tell the truth. He can't believe that your pastor will say the truth. So there's a mindset that is going for peace, and they can't achieve any peace. And let me also tell you, in case the person is a Muslim, one of the doctrines of Muslim is that in the Muslim doctrine, women are possessions. Women are products. I don't buy another hanky. That is the doctrine of Islam. You are a possession. The man just possessed you the way demon possesses. The man just possesses you. You don't buy another settee in his. And as he buy and so, he can buy another one, and will buy another one until you people are 4. And when you people are 4 and you make noise in that home, he will divorce you and bring another one to make up that 4. So you will maintain peace, not to be the one that will be thrown away and another one will come in. That is the doctrine. So when you are saying the man is nice, even though he's a Muslim, remember his doctrine. And also remember there is something about men. When a man is growing, his experiences is growing. His belief system is growing. And his preparation to exit to the earth is growing. As a younger person, between the ages of 25 and 35, the man is still thinking boboish. No, it's okay. I'm not an extremist Muslim. Forget that. You can just be going to your whatever. And in front of you, the father would just ask him, Musa, where would you marry? I said, Dad, I've told you that before. I schooled in the UK. You guys are becoming very, very archaic about this. You can just blend it. Let me speak grammar in front of you. So my husband doesn't really believe in that. Wait. The guy is now 49, getting to 50. And then he's nearing home. People are living in Lagos. So after work, retirement, he moves to Kano. So he's meeting his mates in Kano, in Castina, or in Sokoto. Because once they are retiring, they are moving home. You married him because of his house in Lekki. When he retired, he sold the house in Lekki and bought another house in GRA Kano. And immediately in the midst of his people. And they're asking, why is your wife a Christian? He's now coming to tell you, honey, at least you'll be coming to mosque twice. But you still go to church. When you look at where you're coming from, not only you go sing that song, gone too far from where I'm started from. Nobody told me the road won't be easy, but I don't believe he brought me this far. He go leave you. He will leave you. I cannot give up now. You will give up. The next thing is that you will have struggle in family acceptance. Different faith, the family will not accept you fully if you don't blend into it. You are a normal Christian, you go to marry a witness. And you haven't bought your own portfolio with watchtower inside. Moving around every Saturday and Sunday. With your umbrella. And you think you have peace in that home. No, you won't have peace. Your father-in-law and mother-in-law will keep talking and talking and talking until you either walk away from the marriage or you walk into Kingdom Hall. You know, some of you think that marriage is just 2 years project. When I marry now, after 2 years, I will settle. My dear, the journey is far. Marriage is not a sprint race, it's a marathon. And this marathon is that only you go finish it. You know, the normal marathon, you can run and give baton to another. No. It's marathon that you finish. It's like MTM marathon. They start from Badagry and end in Bega. Only you know. When you come to my two, the road is still far. That's how you'll be running until you get. If you don't get there, you are winning nothing. That's what marriage is all about. You will run. So, Pastor, what do I do? If you are single and a guy from a different faith is coming to you, my dear, if what I have said is what you can't take, don't take him. Don't make up your mind, because girls do this a lot. They make up their mind that they won't marry the guy, but they will marry his money. Pastor, I know I will not marry him, but let me just keep him around. I don't like breaking anybody's heart. It's not that you don't like breaking hearts. You still like the largesse that comes from it. From time to time, you go just do transfer. 150K. They say just for the weekend. You smile. And then you send text. And then he'll be the one to call. No, men can be very stupid. You don't drop 150K. And you send text. Babe, thank you very much. What can I do without you? You are so. Mwah. And the fool will call you. And say, did you get the alert? His half salary. And you say, yes, I got it. Thank you. They say, no, it's okay. If you don't like him, stop collecting from him. If you do, you're wicked. You are evil. You are a depleter. You are a Nigerian. The next solution. In case you don't even know the guy that is coming around you, asking for your hand in marriage, please be rest assured that when a guy comes to you, study who he is. Study him. Look beyond his shoulders. Remember the picture I painted. Whenever a guy stands before you, forget that thing you are seeing. Look beyond the shoulder and see the package behind. How do you do that? Ask him creative and productive questions. What about this? What about that? Who is this? Who is that? Where are you going to? Where do you intend to retire? When you retire back, what happens? If your father is going to Orumba, and you are not going to Orumba, why? How did you change from being Orumba to being a winner? Because some of them can migrate from Orumba to winners to marry. And if he tells you that I just suddenly stopped going there, I don't really like what I do, and decided to go to my father and mother, they don't even have any problem about it. My dear, if he suddenly stops and they don't have problem about it, be careful. But if he says to you that in 2018, I encountered Jesus. When Jesus makes a change, it becomes permanent. But if he said I just woke up one day, or my friend just invited me to Winners, and I went there and then I enjoyed it. And I said, let me just continue here. My dear, he will return. The seed is in him. The next one, if you're already in such marriage, you have to pray for mercy upon you and your man. Pray for mercy. 1, 2, pray for grace to endure. Paul says, as a good soldier of Christ, endure hardship. You will endure that hardship because I know you're a good soldier. Endure it. The next one, keep following him while you are believing for his change. Me and you know that if you appear before me on this basis, I will tell you to follow your husband. Especially you that I pastor. And you hear all these things and you still go to marry the person. If he comes to my table, you see, even if the man worships in hell, you will go there. Because you said yes. So this is not a situation where I would, did you hear me say take him for therapy? There's no therapy for this one. It's a belief system. Belief system. Do you know that what is crippling the world today is religion? Do you know that terrorism in Nigeria today is religion? Do you know the bias we have about politics today is religion? So religion is stronger than you think. Especially outside Christianity, because Christianity is liberal. Liberal. But if we move to the other side, you will hate yourself. What they present to you is not what it is. I have a friend who joined one of these top religious bodies that rule the earth. Some of you know it, some of you don't know. Huh? Do you know it? You're in it already. What is it? Very good. Well, as prayer man, you know him. When he wanted to join, he alerted me. I told him don't join. But he insisted and joined. And then the day he was inaugurated, welcomed into the so-called whatever, he saw Reverend Fathers. He saw pastors. He saw lawyers. He saw doctors. And they shared the scripture. When he aimed to move into the next level, they showed him another face. Bible was not shared that day. And there are cadres he has to grow into. Now he's beginning to suspect. Maybe what pastor told me is true. But it's already late. You can't go back. Gone too far from where I'm started. Nobody told you. Andy, Paulo didn't tell you, sir. You would have asked, have you been blessed today? You know your hand is heavy to clap, but I can understand. I pray that the God of heaven will, by his mercies, give you the strength and the will to say no where you have to say no. And to say yes to what you have to say yes to. In Jesus' name.